This is the first video of 2019 for me, and it's the first book review video that I will have done, so happy 2019. Even though it is the 14th of January and we're like halfway through the month already. So without further ado, I'm going to be reviewing The Binding by Bridget Collins. The premise for the book is that you are able to bind memories, particularly bad memories, to a book, and in doing so you forget about said memory. The story follows Emmett, who is asked to be an apprentice for this witch who lives locally to him and his family, and learn how to be a bookbinder. Now this leads him on to meeting lots of different people who have lots of different, quite graphic, horrible memories that they don't want to have to remember. And in doing so he finds out a lot about himself and a lot about other people and the people he knows and people he befriends. He has a kind of odd relationship between him and his sister and a friend of theirs who is actually really quite horrible to them, but that kind of leads on to what the story then is about. Not only does it take a really fundamentally simple idea of binding your memories to books, it takes it into a really dark but magical direction that I wasn't really expecting throughout the whole book, really. One of the things that I did enjoy was the fact that there is relationships built within the book that I just totally didn't expect. You kind of sit and you read into the relationships right at the start and you kind of think, would that happen? Could that happen? And then a moment in the book when I was waiting for said thing to happen, I had to go back and reread it, so I was not just sat there like, hang on a minute, did that actually happen? One of the things that I particularly enjoyed about the book was the fact that there's no kind of geography or time related to the book itself. You don't feel as if it's tied to any particular era of time within the story. But for me, I found that I kind of connected it very closely to the sort of, I kind of connected it to sort of like mid to late 1800s, sort of Victorian. I don't know, or maybe I was just so engrossed in the magical realism side of things that I started to try and attach it to real times and real events and, I don't know, cultural opinions that would make sense to how the story pans out and how relationships are built and how people's sort of lives connect to each other. That's why I kind of had a moment of going, well, I don't really know when this is set, I don't know if it's set anywhere, but I'm going to kind of pin it to this time because it makes sense for my brain to kind of tie the things together. I don't think there's much about the book that I would change. Normally I have some kind of thing I would want to change about the book or something I didn't particularly like. In this, I was really impressed with how unique the book was. I was really impressed with how human it was. Even though it's a book based on magical realism, it felt very human and it felt very real, and the moments and relationships within the story itself felt very human, and I didn't for 1 minute feel like the magical realism took over so much that I forgot about the story as well. I'm not going to give too much else away. I think I'm going to finish it there. I just wanted to give you a quick gist of what the book was about. It's been really popular amongst the booksellers already, and I've heard good things from people who are starting to read it. The book is out now, and I hope that people will read it and they'll enjoy it. Please comment below if you have read it or you are interested in reading it, and I will see you in another review very soon.